Palantir Technology is in a massive spot, guys. We have seen stock price retract back down to the #1 area value on the daily analysis with these very tight candles and a pullback on this area value. You know a big movement is going to happen soon, whether that's to the up or the down. We will get into this live today. That being said, my name is Dylan from Dylan's Trades. Waste no time. Let's get straight into this, guys, on the weekly analysis. On the weekly analysis, guys, we get such a great, simple perspective of stock price. In a very, very erratic stock, when we zoom out, we get the bird's eye views perspective of Palantir Technologies. We get a very simple image for where stock price is going. First and foremost, there's been a lot of strength on this chart. Whenever the sellers get in, guys, they're really in these territories at these highs. They're ineffective. They do get squeezed out to the top. Besides this very sharp, hard movement down for 2 weeks, notice how the buyers immediately step in with these strong wicks down here, forming this bullish engulfing and a break over the top. Almost every single seller territory where they have tried to plant their flag over here, they got demolished. Buyers step back up, push right back up to this level, pause for 1-2 week, being the #1 level on the chart, guys. We were following this when this happened live, and it really gave us everything we needed to know, like within the short-term perspective, if we close over this, we're going up. As simple as that. And yeah, that's what we're seeing, guys. So we did see the break over this. We ultimately did kind of chop around a little bit where we've been grinding our way up, setting these ascending wicks profiles, moving up very, very bullishly. And that's currently what we're seeing as of today. Right, we have seen some negative price action within the last 3 weeks, but from the weekly perspective, nice and zoomed out, guys, we're still trading over this high over here, and it does look nice. As each and every week, we're continuing to set these wicks higher and higher. Once again, higher, 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 higher. What are we doing as of now? We're setting that wick. We have this nice strong hammer candle with a strong buying presence, where at one point this candle was flushed all the way down here. Then the buyers did a good job squeezing it up, hence leaving this very nice bullish wick. Since breaking over this high and the cup and handle structure neckline, which we will get into on the daily, this has been all we wanted to see, guys, right? We see this rough ascending trend line, pick up bids, and continue stock price higher in a very, very predictable fashion. Very simple analysis from Palantir. We don't have to overanalyze this one. We understand the parameters. We're working in the weekly, and it is in the bull's favor. With that being said, let's go jump over to the daily to get some of the more medium-term analysis for where stock price will go. On the daily candlesticks, guys, we've seen some very hardcore price action. It has been some time since we covered Palantir. We did mention Palantir within this candle right over here. Right, we did mention that stock price is very, very primed to test $145, break out of this hourly pennant structure, and squeeze up, testing this level up here. Very, very probable, but the #1 level we wanted to keep an eye on was 145. What do we do? Stock price came up to this level. We left one body. Notice how if we zoom in a little bit more, we left that perfect body right there. We rejected around 20 cents off of it. This one directly on that level. And then the next candle body exactly on that level. It does appear to be a hard news flush, guys. This is just a very erratic movement. Almost guaranteed that there's some news essence behind this. Regardless, though, we did have a technical pause at this level, attempting to get over one more day and perfectly rejecting at that level. So this is a big meaningful candle, guys. Right, this is something to note. We mentioned in the past this huge meaningful candle over here. This is the one that signified the breakout around that $120 level. We did end up rising pretty nicely, guys. So this isn't something we want to take lightly. We want to keep it 100% honest, guys. We're completely unbiased on the channel, but we have seen the buyers do what they need to do within this context from a buyer perspective to keep this trend going. What have we seen? We've seen really dull price action, right? We've seen this hammer candle, which is or doji, sorry, which is very in the middle of a doji hammer. It doesn't matter, but nonetheless, we've seen a pause within the market, indecision day, followed by another drop down, momentarily knifing below this candle low, which is very, very dangerous territory, guys. If you knife under this major measurement within these contexts, you can see a quick movement down. Ultimately, we did leave a nice wick, kind of tricking out any sellers who are in this territory. And then we had another pause day, which was more bullish, being that we closed a little bit higher, holding on this trend line, and now we have a doji candle, and we did reclaim this very, very important level in the past, which gave us a lot of upside at that 133.50 level. As a technical analyst, this makes your job really easy, right? We're seeing a very slow, gradual flip in trend, crescendoing higher, holding this key level, and now we're looking for the breakout to bounce on this level and move higher. If we see a solidified movement from this with these nice two doji hammer candle candle slightly getting more bullish. We should be able to take off, and especially since we're hovering at this area value for 1, 2, and 3, 4 days, area value being this ascending trend line, right? We are in a good spot. And to the contrary, right? If we do knife below, guys, what do we got to keep an eye on? This level right here, 130 bucks, guys. Not only is that a critical level, but this is at that nice psychological level. Not a huge psychological level, but these marker points like 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, etc., etc. These always typically line up with these levels. Like when you go chart out your resistance, very commonly on these levels for a reason, guys. That lines up with the psyche as well. So with that being said, a very hard, strong daily close under 130, guys. It wouldn't look good for the short term. Would likely come down to retest this breakout level being down here if we do break that. But as of now, the implied probability is that we will get this bounce, despite seeing some very nasty signs right here, guys, and a hard flip down. Very nasty liquidity. Buyers have been doing what they need to do, and it makes this really just a simple job for me and you guys. We just got to sit here and watch this trend line, right? We're slowly flipping more bullish. We expect this bounce here, especially in a pretty hot market. And yeah, that's what we're expecting, guys. We'll continue to cover this as this transpires live. With that being said, let's go jump over to the hourly analysis, being more of a short-term perspective and really wrap this picture together. So when we did set the channel, the alert on the channel over here, we should get the breakout, getting close to 150, if not touching 150, at least testing 145, which we did jam out. Right, we had a perfect rise to 145, zero issues at all before wicking out this level once, twice, falling back down, appearing to be a higher low to move up higher. Once again, a perfect body left at this level. You start to kind of hold over it, trying to hold up to it to test up, ultimately knifing down below it. This was the sign and a hard rejection down. Currently, we've been trading sideways, mentioning back on the daily. We slowly flip more bullish. It does look pretty good. From an hourly perspective, we will keep an eye on this descending trend line. It's very clear, guys. Right, in the past, we've seen this descending trend line, which was very similar in touch points, give us a nice yield of 6% within the next day or so. Right, and we've seen these multiple play out over here as well, a big movement. Over here, not as much, but you did see some volatility. So, you know, once again, we're seeing a pretty established trend. You could argue we have some form of a pennant structure, but we want to rely on this big ascending support, guys, which we will mark higher. So as of now, it does appear we're setting a higher low on this important 133.50 level to break out of this descending channel, move up higher, and start to get some nice bounce as we have been pulling back down to this area value. Stock price looks good here, man. We will follow this live. This is a very sensitive moment. If we get a huge, nasty red candle, no, really knock sellers, knock buyers off their feet, getting a little rocked in days, right? That is a little bit different. The battle has changed, but as of now, we are in the bullish territory, setting some nice signs, and it does appear we will bounce here and revisit this 145 level, ultimately, eventually testing 150, which we did come $1 off within these levels, guys. That being said, that is the video, guys. If you found any value within today's video, consider subscribing for more of these weekly updates. We cover Palantir about 1 to 2 times per week. With that being said, guys, have a good day. Take care and trade smart.